And in this bowl I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. You might need a little less depending on how wet your dough is. So you're going to add about 2 cups first, just to incorporate it. And if you want to have healthier cinnamon rolls, you can substitute 2 cups of whole wheat flour for 2 cups of the white flour. You don't really want to use all whole wheat flour because it'll make the dough too dense. So you're going to incorporate that all together. And then add some more flour, about a cup at a time, until the dough holds its shape. You don't want to add too much flour, the dough will be too dry. Yeah, I'm just going to need a little more. I'm not going to need all of this flour. Once you've got that mostly mixed in, you can turn it onto the counter and start kneading it to mix it the rest of the way until it completely comes together. Roll up your sleeves or else it'll be messy. And when you're kneading it, you probably will have to add some more flour just so it's not sticky. You don't want it to be too sticky. You want to knead it until it comes together into dough. And you can use a mixer with a bread hook to do this if you don't want to do it by hand. I just don't have one at the moment. Now the dough probably has the right amount of flour. It's not sticky anymore, but it's not too dry. And I'm just going to keep kneading it for several more minutes until it's more elastic. You can add more flour to the counter if it's starting to stick. See how I'm kneading the dough? Fold it in half, press away from you, and do a quarter turn. That's about good. Dough's come together. Now you need to form it into a ball and get a greased bowl that's pretty large so it gives room to double. Put it upside down and then flip it over so the grease gets on the top. You want to cover it either with plastic wrap or with a towel and let it rise for 1.5 hours until it's doubled. And then we'll come back and we'll finish making the dough. Okay, the dough has risen for 1.5 hours, and as you can see, it's doubled. And we're going to punch it down just slightly to get some of the air out. And flour the counter. Turn the dough onto the counter. And this amount of dough actually makes 2 batches of cinnamon rolls, 9 cinnamon rolls each. So I'm going to cut it in half. With this handy dandy bench knife. And put it back in the bowl. Cover it up so it doesn't dry out while I'm working on the other one. And we're going to roll this into a rectangle, about 9 by 15 or however big it gets. It doesn't have to be perfectly square edges, but you can kind of use your hands to stretch it out. Okay, that's a pretty good size. I have about 1/4 cup of melted butter here. And I'm going to use about half of it and spread the melted butter onto the top of the dough. This will give something for the cinnamon to stick to. Okay. Here I've mixed together 1/2 cup of white sugar and 4 teaspoons of cinnamon to make cinnamon sugar, and we're going to sprinkle that all over the dough, leaving a little bit of room on the edges. And use about half of this, or as much as you want, I guess. Okay, that's good. Now, starting from the long side, we're going to roll it up tightly. So form it into a log, make it about even. And we're going to cut this into 9 pieces and place it upright in a greased 8x8 pan. They don't have to be exactly even, but try to get it pretty close. Yeah, I think I'm only going to get 8 out of this. So 8 is all right. So place them evenly spread out. And I'm going to cover these with plastic wrap, let them rise for 40 more minutes, and then I'm going to stick them in the fridge and bake them tomorrow morning for Mother's Day. And I'm going to repeat the same process with the other half of the dough. Flour the surface some more. Spread the melted butter on the dough. Sprinkle more cinnamon sugar. And whatever cinnamon sugar you have left over, you can save and use for something else. My family likes putting cinnamon sugar on toast, so I'll save that for them. And if you don't normally bake and you don't have cinnamon around, I'm pretty sure you can buy cinnamon sugar already mixed at the store. So roll from the long side tightly. And then cut it into 8 or 9 pieces. These ones are going to be slightly smaller. So put in a greased 8x8 pan, evenly spread apart. Cover with plastic wrap. And then let it rise for 40 minutes. And then stick it in the fridge. And I'll come back and bake them tomorrow morning. Good morning. It's Mother's Day morning. The cinnamon rolls were rising for 40 minutes last night, and then I stuck them in the fridge. And right now I'm going to put them into a 375-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. And I'll probably switch the pans halfway through so they cook evenly. Right now I'm going to start on our powdered sugar glaze for the top. I have about 3/4 cups of powdered sugar. It doesn't have to be exact. And you're going to put a little milk in and stir it up. And just keep adding milk a little at a time until it's a good consistency for a glaze. You won't need very much. No more than a couple tablespoons. That's almost enough right there. I'll add just a little bit more. You can make a lot more of this if you want. I don't really like a lot of glaze on my cinnamon rolls because I think they're too sweet. But there, it's pourable consistency. We can pour it on top of the cinnamon rolls when they come out of the oven. Okay, the cinnamon rolls were in the oven for 25 minutes and they're done now. I just pulled them out of the oven. I'm going to pour the glaze on top now. You can wait because they're still really hot. It'll all melt, but I like it that way. Now all you have to do is wait a few minutes till they cool down some more and then cut them apart and enjoy.